Today is a very great day for all the Sahajogis. It was a long time back that I desired Sahasrara should be opened out. But waiting for the right time, it was important to do it at the right time. A boy in Aurangabad, quite young, asked me a question. Mother, this all-pervading power of Brahma Chaitanya is beyond senses. You cannot feel it through senses. How is it we are now feeling it through our senses? This is the question he asked. And I ask you the same question. Before this, those people who got realization could not talk about it in the way you can tell people that you can feel it on your senses. They could not explain. They could not put it into experience. Just what they did was to tell them in words which were telling about something like the taste of mango. Unless and until you eat the mango, how will you know the taste? By just knowing about it's wonderful, it's great, it's fantastic, still you have not tasted the mango. So what has happened now was the question. Another thing was that these people got so fed up. Like Gyaneshwara at the age of 21, he took a samadhi. He went into a room and closed the doors and settled down there, and he died there. All of them, even Christ got himself crucified. Because they could tell a parable, they could tell a simile, but what had happened to them that they could not explain, and they felt so sad and so frustrated. In a way, they finished their life very early. This was the question. So what was the secret? Can any one of you tell me? The answer is simple, but difficult to digest. The answer is that all these incarnations who came on this earth were part of the Sahasrara. were part of the Brahma Chaitanya, were part of the Adi Shakti. They came on this earth, gave realization to some people who were excellent, good people, who had no problems. As if they came out of the ocean of love and took all of them to the ocean of love to enjoy that ocean. As Kabira has said, that when a drop becomes the ocean, what can I say? Jab mast hue fir kya bole? So many of them took to mauna, that is silence. They disappeared. They got dissolved completely into the ocean of love. But you did not get dissolved. Something special has happened to you. That the whole of Brahma Chaitanya, the whole ocean, has taken the form of a cloud. That's Adi Shakti. And has come on this earth to shower the Chaitanya on you people, enrich you, nurture you, develop you by manifesting the love in such a manner that you have entered into the body of the Adi Shakti. So like one pitcher which is in the river Ganges, you are like a cell in the body of the Adi Shakti. Your entity, your personality is preserved. Despite that, you feel the Brahma Chaitanya through your senses, and you can give realizations to others. But you are in the body of the Adi Shakti. As long as you are in the body of Adi Shakti, you can do all that. This is the greatest thing that has happened. The whole of the Sahasrara has opened out with all the 7 pithas of all the deities who were just part and parcel of it. The whole of it has come in the form of a mother who is humble, who is deceptive, elusive, who is Mahamaya. It's the greatest thing that could happen to human beings and to the whole universe. That now you can get your realization, you can give realizations to others, you can understand through your senses, through your logic, what is vibrations, what it does. Just like the proof is here, all the flowers were dead, yes, last night, finished with the heat of the people who were carrying them. Then I just put some vibrated water on them, and you see how they are. Brahma Chaitanya has revived them, but their personality is there. They are all vibrated, and they are looking so fresh and beautiful. Same thing with you. You all look so fresh and beautiful. Anybody can make out a Sahaja. Under these circumstances, one has to understand that there are certain limitations which you have to observe. First of all, I have taken you in my body. A foreign thing has to go in the body, and it has to be looked after, nurtured. But if you become troublesome, then you will be thrown out. I can't bear you. Some people are extremely troublesome. They do not meditate. They have their own ideas about meditation. They do not develop themselves, they do not mature. They live in the past or in the future. And such people are troublesome. A simple thing I had requested you all to put some ghee in the nose, which is a very simple thing but is very important. You all suffer from a very bad hamsa, and one of the things that is a symptom in an AIDS case is a bad hamsa. You will be vulnerable to AIDS. And a small thing like that is not observed. It has to be religious obligation that you must listen to me, whatever I say. Actually, you must obey me. My hand obeys me, my fingers obey me, my feet obey me. What about you, who are raised to the great dignity and the great position of being the yogis in the body of the Adi Shakti, and they are acting as cells in my body. First and foremost thing is to do this kind of a venture, to put all kinds of things in your body, is a very daring thing. And the process is also very hazardous. This has to be achieved with great patience, love, compassion, and above all, hard labor. This has to be regarded as the greatest thing that Sahasrara was opened by me. Of course, I am the master of Sahasrara. I am the master of all the chakras. But also I am beyond Sahasrara, much beyond it. If that is the situation, you should be careful about your Sahasrara, that is me, and looking after your own heart, which is the Brahmarandra Pitha here, which opens out ultimately when you get your realization. Sahaja Yoga is spreading everywhere horizontally. Vertically it must also spread. And there, if you really have proper understanding of what I am, Sahasrara should be absolutely clear-cut. And to keep Sahasrara clear-cut, you must listen to whatever I am told. Obey it as absolutely a ordained thing. To keep the Sahasrara clean is to open your heart. If your hearts are not open, how will I fill it up with my love? Open your heart to your fellow yogis and yoginis. Don't get worried about what has happened in the past. Don't get worried about what has happened in your life as far as your relationships are concerned. Such things won't happen now in Sahaja Yoga. They cannot happen. It has been worked out that way. It cannot happen. If this hand is paining, the other hand is there to help it out. You are not alone. You are in the body of the collective being. If there are stupid people, if there are idiotic people, Sahaja Yoga is not meant for such people. In Sanskrit language they are called as mudhas. Neither it is meant for people who are over smart and trying to cheat themselves. Intelligence has that capacity. And to indulge into things which are not such. Slowly you will find your vibrations will disappear. You will become sick, you will have problems, and you will be in trouble. This is not a kind of a warning, but a request, because you are in my body. And whenever anybody tries to be troublesome in my body, I have to bear it up and suffer a lot. It's a funny type of a crucifixion where every moment you are hanged onto a cross by anyone who wants to do it. Such yogis have all the laws in their hands to torture my life, to trouble me, if they want to. But they have also such a capacity, such a caliber, such a potential that they can reside in my heart forever. Open your hearts. That's the thing I will say. Now we have to see what keeps our hearts closed. Firstly, it keeps our heart in a binding, the fear of the past. In the past, if we have done anything wrong, in the past we have had bad experiences of people, we are very frightened. I'm surprised, I've seen it myself, that in England, where we were staying, it was that day, unlucky day or lucky day, it was snowing for the first time. And we were shifting, so I had gone out. And when I came back, I saw a lady, a little baby in the pram, standing at the door and talking to some lady. The other lady was just talking through a little opening in the door because there was a chain on. Then I went out and came back after half an hour and I saw the same thing. The lady was still standing in the snow and this lady was talking to her through a chink. I was surprised. What is this going like Midsummer's Night's Dream? These people are talking to each other. Horrible. What was it that was frightening to this lady inside the room? What this lady would have done with a child who had come to her door? What was there to be so frightened of? Because of the ego within yourself. You have frightened others, you have tortured others, you have dominated others, you have done all these things, so there is fear in your mind that others may do the same thing to you. Or what is there to be so much frightened to lock your doors to everyone who comes to your house? Secondly, maybe you might have been tortured by someone or troubled by someone, so your heart is closed. You can't open heart to others. People just don't talk, they just keep mum. What has happened? Just like a dead body moving about. Supposing I was like this, who would have told you the secrets of Sahaja Yoga and Sahasrara? So this kind of a nature comes from people who are frightened in the past, perhaps, or they might have frightened people with their bad Vishuddhi. Aggressiveness is one of the qualities in the West, and that also is inherited by people. As soon as you put them onto something, they become aggressive. I can't bear it within myself. Supposing I have some sort of a medicine that makes some cells very aggressive, then what happens? Ultimately, I become a patient of cancer. An aggressive cell is called as the malignant cell. And such a cell cannot give you proper attention, cannot give you proper depth, but you become nothing but a malignant cell, a cell which is creating a cancer. And such a person creates cancer among Sahajogis. I've heard horrible stories about how some women, some men have become aggressive. With a little position they get, immediately they become aggressive. Say somebody is a wife of a organizer or a so-called leaders. Then she thinks she is nothing but a prime minister or something. Or a husband becomes something. This aggressiveness adds to the aggressiveness of another person. Then reaction starts. One says something, the another says something. We become reactionaries. We haven't got something of our own that we should be reactionaries. There should be no reaction to anything. Because we have something of our own, why should we react to something, whatever people are doing to us or have done to us? It's finished.